Most of us start our lawn care businesses with mowing. That, after all, is the bread and butter of our industry. However, at some point, we start thinking, what are some ways that I can add additional income to what I'm doing? Now, the good news is that there are dozens of ways to make more money in our industry, but the great news is that you don't have to do them all. You really just gotta pick 2 or 3. In this video, I'm going to break down the top 10 most profitable lawn care and landscaping jobs. Not just my opinion, but on actual hard data and facts. So if you're looking to add 2 or 3 high margin services to what you're already doing, stick around in this video because I bet somewhere in this top 10, you're gonna say, that is a perfect fit for my business. If you're new here, I am Jonathan. I am the owner of Florida Turf Pros. Consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so before we get going, I want to give you a few honorable mentions that you would probably expect to see in the top 10, but they're not in there, and I want to discuss why. Irrigation is the first service that is highly profitable, but it's not included in the top 10. The reason that's not included is because it is a very season-specific service. It's not something that's really offered year-round. The next is outdoor lighting. Again, it's kind of like a one-off niche type thing that's like, it is green industry, but there's like a lot of like other companies who are doing that type of work as well. So I did not include outdoor lighting, though there is really good profit margin in that. And finally, pond installations did not make the list because they're so highly focused. And to me, you're really getting into more like pool installations at that point. This list focuses on services that are not just profitable, but are also repeatable for the vast majority of lawn care business owners. Okay, here we go. Bringing up the bottom of the pack is, no surprise, lawn mowing and basic maintenance services. We have here that the average lawn mow is between $45 and $75 a lawn, depending on a market. Average customer value is $1,200 to $2,000 per year per client. And the net margin on a mowing business only, a good, well-run mowing business, 20 to 25%. Now, I built Florida Turf Pros off of mowing and maintenance services before we got into any other type of landscaping jobs. So do not let mowing be a discouragement to you if that's all you're doing right now. You can still make good money. You just got to do a lot of volume for it to be truly profitable. Number 9 on our list here is irrigation repairs. The average ticket price for irrigation repairs, it says, is $125 to $300 per job, and net margin is about 50%. Notice I did not say sprinkler system installations because that is definitely much higher up on the list later, but maybe the sprinkler guys can speak into that. Irrigation repair is bringing up number 9 in our top 10 most profitable lawn and landscaping services. Number 8, and this one was kind of surprising to me. I figured this was going to be higher on the list, but it was fertilization and weed control. So fertilization and weed control average of $60 to $90 per application, about $600 annually per client, and the net margin is about 40 to 60% on a fertilization and weed control company. So that's really good, but I honestly figured fertilization and weed control would a little bit higher than that. But no, it's not. There's plenty of other things that have much higher profit margins on this list. Number 7 is property cleanups, okay? Very, very profitable here at average $500 to $800 per job. You can easily go out and do 2 or 3 of those a day. And this is grouping in together like your winter cleanups, spring cleanups, or even like during the year, you got a renter moving out, they're getting a home ready to sell, you're doing a major property cleanup. Property cleanups are number 7 with a net profit margin of 50 to 65%. Number 6 on our top 10 most profitable lawn and landscape services is mulch and rock installations, okay? So mulch, average $500 to $1,200. Rocks, average $1,200, $3,000 plus. Net margin, again, is 50 to 65%. But again, you're getting into those bigger ticket items, and whenever you have a 50% margin or a 60% margin on those bigger ticket items, that's when your profit margin and your dollar amount is going to start increasing. You're going to see that play out over and over again from now all the way up until number 1. Okay, number 5 on our list is landscape planning and design. Okay, and I can definitely vouch for this because here at my company, that's something that we've really got into. And I am paid pretty well for the design aspect of what we're doing. Yes, anybody can go drop plants in a hole, but the higher ticket comes from having a seasoned eye and having the experience to say, hey, these plants are going to do really, really well at this particular site. They all work synergistically together to create, a unified look, and we're paid really, really well for that expertise. A typical landscape planning and design, you can easily make $1,200 to $5,000 in a job, depending on how big the job is. Upwards of $10,000 if you're doing a big job. Net margin on this is 60 to 70%. Again, because not only do you have the plant material and then the labor, but you're also being compensated for the design aspect of it. So landscape planning and bed design, number 5 on our list. Number 4 on our list for the most profitable lawn and landscaping services is irrigation system installations. Now, let me tell you what, I can totally vouch for that because I have some friends that do irrigation system installations, and they do very, very well with small outfits. So a typical irrigation system installation can range anywhere from $3,000 up to $8,000. That's the average, and net margins are 55 to 70% on that work. The beauty of the irrigation system installation is there is not a whole lot of materials cost in that. I mean, you got your PVC, you got your box controller, your valve boxes, and then you got glue. I mean, obviously there's other things associated with that, but there's just not a lot of materials cost with that. It's really about labor and then knowing how to do that type of work. It's relatively specialized type of work. And I'm telling you, profit margins are really, really good. Maybe something to think about if you're looking at adding a service to what you're doing. Irrigation is considered the number 4 most profitable service in lawn and landscape. Okay, number 3, and this one is near and dear to my heart because I went all in on this and it has paid off very, very handsomely for us. Sod installations. So sod installations, the average job is $3,000 to $8,000. Profit margin on sod installations, 60% to 75%, okay? Again, the other benefit of the sod installation is that not only are you charging for putting the grass on the ground, but the majority of the work, the majority of the money that you're making is coming from the lawn prep. It is coming from carrying out the existing lawn, smoothing it out, and getting it ready to add the sod, okay? Sod installation is extremely profitable. Again, I kind of pushed all my chips in on that bet of 3 or 4 years ago. And again, it has paid off very, very well for us. Sod installation is number 3 on our most profitable lawn and landscaping services. Number 2 on our list is artificial turf installation, okay? I get so many of these calls for people looking for this type of work. It's not something that we are currently offering. And I'll tell you what, I refer out a lot of this work to another company in our area. And that's the thing, is that not a lot of contractors are offering that service. So there's not a whole lot of competition, so prices can stay high. Average job anywhere from $5,000 to $12,000 plus. Net margin through the roof at 65 to 80%. Artificial turf installation, number 2 on our most profitable lawn and landscaping services. Now, before we get to number 1, I want to encourage you to stick around to the very, very end because I'm going to give you a tip on what I think is your best bet, what service you should add if you're only mowing right now. Okay, and without further ado, number 1 most profitable lawn and landscaping service. This really should come as no surprise, but it is hardscaping, and this includes patios, retaining walls, outdoor living type stuff. At that point, you're really into more construction / outdoor living type jobs. And the average ticket is anywhere from $8,000 all the way up to $25,000 plus. Net margin, again, through the roof at 70 to 80% margin on the work. However, it does take a team to get this type of work done, but I would encourage you, if you are still small, think about what type of hardscaping could you do? Could you get into basic retaining walls? Could you get into very, very small patio installations? Very, very high margin work. Okay, so if you are only mowing right now and you're looking at adding one of these services, what do I think you should possibly add? Okay, let's do low hanging fruit. Everybody should be offering like basic property cleanups. That's high margin work. It takes no extra equipment really from what you already currently have. Very, very good margins. Very easy to get in there and get paid really well for basic property cleanups. Next, I would say look at mulch and rock installations. Most of everybody is doing mulch installations, but people kind of shy away from the rock because it's so labor intensive. If you can figure out what you need to do to get rock in place for people, there's really, really good margin in that work. You typically requires a dump trailer or some sort of machine, renting a machine to go do that type of work. But hey, at number 6, very, very good margin in rock and mulch installations. Now, this is a toss-up for me. I have to put sod in there because, again, it's worked out so well for us. I would say sod installation. However, that does require either an investment in machinery or you need to be able to rent and have access to the type of equipment to do those jobs, right? It's not just kind of cut and dry. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence about suggesting sod installations. But a low-hanging fruit, if you can learn how to do irrigation system installations, if you can add that to your repertoire as a lawn care business, people are always asking for that type of work. And again, I'm saying that, and we don't even do that, but I'm telling you, just looking at this objectively, irrigation system installation is very, very high margin work. It's relatively low materials cost. Everybody wants irrigation, and I tell you what, you can make really, really good money. So what are your most profitable services? Let me know in the comments what you think I missed. Did I miss something? I was just going off the data that was presented before me. If you are looking at getting a lawn care business up and running profitably, make sure to join us in Turf Pros Academy. There's a link in my description for that course. But regardless, if this video was helpful for you, I would appreciate a like, subscribe, and definitely comment. Let me know that you're down there. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next one.